Well, we put our boats in at the Boyles Wildlife Management Area, and we're going to float probably about 3 miles down to the old site where the dam was. When we were at the dam removal earlier in the year, we were talking about species that would benefit from having the dam removed, and really there's a lot of kind of ecosystem benefits from opening up that area. We're looking at opening up this river so that things like white bass and smallmouth bass can move up and down the river. Those are species that will have seasonal movements, species that people fish for, and should notice a difference over time in those species. And they're trying to get upriver to places like this that we're looking at, shoals and areas for spawning. And we should see those fish move up into areas like this. We typically don't see big aggregations of those up in here. And you know, I think with that dam gone this coming winter, we should see a difference in what gets up this far upriver. These rivers change over time. You'll have gravel bars form, gravel bars get washed out. When we look at a river, we kind of break it down into some basic habitats. We just, right now we're floating through a run, kind of a area of kind of uniform depth and flow. Typically, you go from a run to something like we're about to hit, more of a pool, a little more still water. And then those shallow areas with the white water, you know, they're riffles or shoals. And each of those habitats really will hold different species of fish. All of those fish, they'll have seasonal movements, particularly around spawning time. And with the dam gone, they're going to have access to more of this river. When we've done surveys through the winter and early spring down where the dam used to be, we would see all those species kind of stacked up, ready to go upriver. So this coming year, when we get some spring rains and late winter, early spring, we get those big rains, we should see some of those fish up in these areas. And the red horse can be particularly impressive on their spawning runs because you can have thousands of fish up on a shoal like this trying to spawn, and it's kind of a really neat thing to witness. As we get farther downriver into the area that was impounded by the dam, we're going to see some new riffles and shoals, new runs established, things that were just still water, places that were just still water. Another aspect of the dam removal project is that you actually gain habitat. You don't necessarily get an opportunity in this day and age to gain new aquatic habitat. And you know, it wasn't miles and miles of river, but it did create some nice riffles and shoals and change that particular area in what we view as a positive way. Because we'll have species, darters and minnows and the species we talked about earlier, red horse and smallmouth, using those new habitats. We've just kind of gotten to the point where the influence of the dam reached. We're about a mile from the site where the dam was located. Didn't see a big difference up here. The water dropped a little bit. You know, there was a lot of concern locally about whether this particular area would just be dried up. People were very concerned about it, and we had a pretty good idea that wasn't going to happen. It was nice to see. We had just a very slight change of depth up here. So the people living on the river didn't notice, you know, that much of a difference. The biggest difference that we'll see is when we get closer to the dam, we'll see those riffles and shoals that have formed, and it was got a lot of positive feedback from people once they realized that we weren't going to dry them up here. So we're approaching the area where the biggest difference has been noticed in some of that, regained habitat, new habitat was created when we removed the dam. We've got some more flowing water here, added flowing water and different habitat. When the dam was in place, the section that we're floating through now would have been mostly still water, very little current. And as you can see what we're going through here, we've got nice currents. It's pretty neat to see how the habitat changed. We're standing in the area that before the dam was removed, there was water here. And it's been kind of neat to see how this is all greened up. It didn't take it very long. Once the water receded, within a matter of weeks, we began to see kind of this green sheen from algal growth, and then not long after that, some of these plants started moving in. So it's been kind of neat to see how quickly this greened up. We have plans in the spring of 2018 to plant this in sycamore, bald cypress, and a plant called common nine-bark in the riparian area, or the area next to the water's edge. We're going to partner up with Jackson County High School Biology Department, a couple of Tennessee Tech organizations, the Student Fisheries Association and the Wildlife Society, and plant this whole thing in trees and kind of foster the change that we're expecting to see. And someday we'll have a stand of trees here. So this area here definitely is different, having removed the dam. A lot goes into providing the fishing that people enjoy in the area, and it's something we're very proud of. It's there for folks to just come and enjoy a state scenic river.